Hi everybody and welcome back to the Duggan Daily Dish. I'm Jamie Duggan and this is my kitchen. Tonight we'll be making an adult twist on macaroni and cheese. If you like spice, you will definitely love this. I actually make this and give some to my brother-in-law because he loves chorizo. Now, I'd never heard of it. I didn't know there was a difference. I didn't know how spicy it was. It comes in a variety of spice, just like any other kind of sausage. And you can get it in different types, just like any other sausage. So there's ground sausage, and there's also the bar type sausage, whatever you want to call it. Links, I guess. Yes, links. So this is a very hard around Pittsburgh to find, and I don't know why. But sometimes it's at my regular grocery store. Other times it's at one that I really don't like to go to because it's a little bit more expensive. But they have it chopped up and easy to put into a meal. And I didn't think I would find it at Aldi's, and lo and behold, they actually had it. Yay! So that's what we're using tonight. It does cook a little bit differently when it's in this type of packaging, but it still will work out. So let's get started. We're making chorizo mac and cheese, and it's amazingly delicious. Definitely not one of my healthy ones. Okay, so the first step you are going to do is you're going to take 4 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese and 4 ounces of shredded pepper jack cheese, or you can cheat like I do and get Mexican cheese blend. However, this is 6 ounces, you need 8 ounces. So I have about 2 ounces left of sharp cheddar cheese, so we're going to go ahead and mix that in. Plus, I don't like mine as spicy, so. And a Mexican cheese blend, just in case you know, or in case you don't know, it's a blend of Colby Jack, Monterey Jack, and cheddar cheeses. So, a different mix of cheese. So you're going to put that into a bowl. Try not to make a mess. And I'm going to go ahead and add the extra cheddar. Okay. And then you're going to add a teaspoon of cornstarch, and that's going to help it from getting too stringy on you. So you're just going to pop cornstarch in there and just stir this around a second. Just to get the cornstarch incorporated with all of the cheese, and to make sure that the cheese doesn't get too stringy on you when we get to that part of the recipe. Okay, and then after you've mixed it all together, you're just going to put this aside until we're ready to use it. I would not put this back in the fridge though, I would just leave it out. Okay, so the next step is to get your milk heated up. You want about a cup of the milk heated here in the back over a light simmer. You want to make sure that you don't overboil the milk. You don't actually want the milk to boil, you just want it to heat up a little bit. While that's heating up, you want to get your water started for your pasta, and you want about 2 cups of the elbow macaroni. And you are going to cook this until about 2 minutes less than what the actual macaroni package tells you to do. So you want it a little bit al dente. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is we're going to start on the chorizo cheese sauce. So the first thing you want to do is cut the ends off the stick, and you want to take off the natural casing. So basically, if you cut one end, you can basically squeeze it out. Okay, so you are going to put this on a medium-high heat, and as soon as it starts to sizzle, we're going to lower it to a lower type of heat. You can stir it around and start to break it up because it is a sticky kind of sausage. You can't see that well. But that's what it looks like. So we're starting to sizzle. So we are going to lower it. Sorry about that, guys. We're going to lower it. Oh my god, the smell in here is amazing. Okay, so you're going to cook this for about 2 minutes. Stirring it around, and while you keep that going, I'm going to put some pasta in the water. I apologize for that. And cook that. And we're going to cook this pasta for about 8 minutes. It usually takes 8 to 10. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the 8. So continue to stir this around. Keep an eye on your milk. Make sure it's not boiling. This chorizo smells amazing. And 6 ounces doesn't look like a lot, but believe me, in this mac and cheese, it will go a long way. You can also easily double this recipe. This serves about 4 people. Okay, so at this point, I cooked this for 2 minutes, broken it up into tiny little pieces. And what you're going to do now is we are going to put together the sauce. Go ahead and preheat your oven now to 375. And usually, if you're following the recipe that I'm linking, it asks you to put in onions and cook this for about 3 or 4 more minutes. However, I'm making this for my brother-in-law, and he does not like onions, so I omitted the red onion, but you can go ahead and add it in if you want to. Once your pasta is done, you're going to put it aside, drain it, and put it aside. Okay, so now we're going to add the flour to our pot, and we're going to mix it well. Okay, so you're going to want to add 2 tablespoons of flour to the bottom, and you're going to stir well. And that's just to get a nice paste going on. And that will also help soak up any of the grease and make it a little bit easier for you. For cleanup, I say. And you want to constantly scrape the bottom of the pan. And we're going to add the milk a tablespoon at a time, and you're going to stir this constantly. So this is a pain in the butt to do, but believe me, it's definitely worth it. So you're going to do a tablespoon at a time. I kind of cheat and use a little bit more than a tablespoon at a time. I use about a half a cup at a time, but I pour it slowly. So once the milk is all added, you're going to heat it up to a gentle simmer and cook for 2 more minutes. Okay, so we have a nice creamy base going. See? So basically what we're going to do now is the hardest part is over. This is the most pain in the butt part, is adding the milk a little bit at a time. And that's to make sure you don't overboil it or scald it. So you have a nice a creamy base started off with the milk and the grease. So now we're just going to add our cheese. And you want to stir that until it's melted. It's going to be very, very, very thick. That's what makes a very good macaroni and cheese, a thick type of cheese. Put some meat on your bones. Okay, so the cheese is melted. Now all you're going to do is you're going to add your macaroni into this pot. Without hopefully making a mess. Okay. We're going to stir the macaroni into the cheese. The whole thing cheesed. I know that was cheesy, wasn't it? As my husband groans in the other room. Hey, you know what? He gives me a lot of cheesy lines, so I'm allowed to have one of my own. Alright, so get that all incorporated. Okay, so my oven is ready. as you just heard it beat in the back. And what we're going to do now is you are going to take your macaroni and cheese and put it into a small casserole dish, or if you're doubling it, obviously a larger dish. Okay, and then you want to make sure that it's level. So spread it around, stir it up a little bit more while it's in there. Make sure you smooth out the corners. Make sure it's even and as level as you possibly can make it. Okay. And then we're going to dust the top with breadcrumbs, of course. I mean, how can you have macaroni and cheese without breadcrumbs? That's what makes it awesome. Alright, so all you need for this is 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. You're going to pop that right on top. I love a crispy, crunchy coating on top, so I love using breadcrumbs on baked mac and cheese. Makes a delicious crust. I'm using a half tablespoon here. I'm not putting on extra, don't worry. Bad enough as it is. But that's okay. You're allowed to splurge, right? Okay. And then you are going to take a tablespoon of butter, and you're going to dot that with, on top of the breadcrumbs. So basically, take a knife. Some people like a little bit more butter on their breadcrumbs. Like I said, we're trying to watch what we're eating, so I'm trying to make it as not as fattening as it possibly could be. We're just going to take and just chunk the butter. Spread your dots around evenly as possible. Kind of hard to do with butter. Alright, so there's that. And then you are going to bake this until the breadcrumbs are golden brown, so about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, it's all done. It's a delicious, beautiful crust, and we're ready to eat because I'm starving. See you next time. Enjoy!